Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Welcome to the Practice Assistant. In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how to use it. So, welcome to the dashboard. When you first log in, this is what you should find, or something like that. It may have evolved by the time you watch this video. Today, we're going to be talking about the Practice Assistant. So just click on the Practice Assistant. When you first do, you're going to be prompted to make a new routine. So I'd suggest you just start off by calling it test, but you need a routine to be able to get started. So let's create routine, and I'll take you through all of the bits that you need. On this first About page, you'll find the link to this very video and some text that'll explain all of the stuff that I'm talking about this anyway. The Practice tab is where you'll actually do your practice. We haven't got a routine or any items done yet, so there's nothing to practice. So we'll come back to this in a second. The Routines tab is where we'll make and edit our routines. But before that, we need to create some practice items. So let's talk about adding a practice item first of all. So if we go here to add a new item, we can set here a title of the item. So let's start with one for, say, chord changes. And then with description, so how many chord changes in a minute? And the duration will be, say, 1 minute. A related link could be for my 1 minute changes thing. You might want to open up another tab if you're going to add related lesson links in there. You can add links to anywhere, actually, to tell the truth. And statistic name is number of changes in this particular case. We hit save, and there we have our first active item. You could, I guess, use this for anything really. If you were trying to count the number of push-ups you could do in a minute, you could add push-ups to your routine, number of push-ups, and save it, and you can have as many of these active items as you want. In fact, you're probably going to end up with quite a few active items. Note here we've got the very common pencil icon, which is the edit button. So if we decided that we wanted to put in our related link at a later time, we can always do that at any point. You can go back and update stuff. We've also got a duplicate item. So if you wanted to work on, let's say this particular chord changes were you're working on A to D, and you decide that you also want to specifically work on doing, say, A to E as well, you can hit that duplicate button, copy item, go in and edit this one, and just make it A to E. Save, and job done. Nice and simple. Now, only active items can go in routines. When you've completely finished with an item, you can move it to archived items by clicking on the little X, an archive item. When you put it there, though, they will be removed from routines. So only archive items that you definitely don't want to use anymore. You can also add practice items directly from the site. So, for example, the finger gym exercise on the site, if you click on the practice tab, you'll see there that we can add to your routine. We can add it either to the active routine or to practice items. Now, we haven't talked about the routines yet, so I'm just going to add it to your practice item. There we go. Now, when we go back to here, we do actually have to refresh the page. That's important. We have to go then practice items, and you'll see there that the finger gym has been added. It's been added at 5 minutes, which is what I've preset it for, but you could always just go in and change that to, if you wanted to do 15-minute practice on that, which would be far too much, but you get the idea. That's how another way of having adding items to your practice routine. Okay, let's move on to routines now. So we have here our test routine, which is what I'd recommend you start off with. If we click on the little pencil icon, we get the edit menu, which we select now the items that we want to go into that routine. I've only got 3, so I'm going to select all 3 of them. If you've got 100 items there, you might find this search feature pretty handy to find the things that you want. If you want to change the order, if you want to practice A to E first of all, you can use these little side arrows to move things around in the order that you want. When you're finished, you click save, and we have now our first routine. We can see what's in it by clicking that little arrow there. We can have lots of different routines. So if we wanted to make a new routine and call it test 2, submit, we've now got test 2. We can edit it over here. Maybe we just got 2 items in this one, save that. We've now got 2 different routines, so we might be doing that on a Monday, and when we want to do this one, we just click on that plus arrow, and that makes make active routine. So that is now our active routine with just the 2 items in it. Of course, we can edit it and change it whenever we like. Let's just swap those back. Make active routine, and maybe this one we're going to delete. Now, when you delete them, they delete them forever. So be careful with deleting your routines. This can't be undone. Okay. So we get into practice now. So we've got a routine. It tells you what the total time is there. You are expected to do everything each practice session. If you need to reset it for some reason, if you want to do it again or you didn't quite finish one day, there's a reset routine button here that you can click on that will reset it for you. So let's just hit the start button. So the countdown timer is now counting down here. You can see there's the countdown. There's a reset if you need to change your mind about what's going on. Really useful feature is the notes. If you want to add a note, say, remember the anchor finger. If there's something that you're forgetting, like how to spell remember, you can always change it there. This will stay with the particular item. So every time you practice it, these will come up. Pretty handy little thing. We've also got a metronome here. Now this particular one, you wouldn't want to use a metronome, but if you just click the show metronome icon there, you can see there we've got a metronome. We can start. We can stop it in just a tempo like this. We can add in 8th note subdivisions or 16th note subdivisions as well if you need them. Now at the end of this 1 minute, the screen is going to flash for those of you that don't have the sound turned up or whatever, or somehow managed to miss it like I regularly do. I managed to get the screen to flash crazy so that you know you're at the end, and we get the little chime. Now this has said record statistic, the number of chord changes. So let's say you did 36 chord changes there. You add that in and we're ready to go on to the next item. Now this will be the same thing. We've got another set of chords. We've got more notes that you can add. If you decided that you didn't want to do the chord changes there, that you wanted to go to Finger Gym, you can just click on Finger Gym and you can practice that one and then come back to the one that you've missed at any time you like. Some of them, if I've added where the video is, I'm able to actually show the video within the actual practice routine as well. Okay, so that's generally the ones that I've added. That's the website generated ones. That's not ready for you guys to be able to do yourselves yet, but it might be in the future. You've also got there your related link, which will open up the lesson. Now, a couple of other things to mention. We can add songs to your routine. If we got to the Highway to Hell here, you see there's a practice thing. We can just add practice just like we can with lessons. It gives us the option of how many minutes that we want to practice it for. Let's say we're going to add 15 minutes, and we can either add it to the active routine or add it to your saved practice items. Let's add this one to the routine. And now when we go back to our routines and we refresh it, we will find on our practice that we have Highway to Hell has been added to the active routine. As well as individual items, you can actually import a whole new routine as well. So here you can see we've just got our test routine. But for example, if I go to this 5 blues licks lesson, we see there we've got some practice. We've got a whole heap of different items there. There's all 5. You can select which ones you want if you don't want to do all of them. But you can add that to your routine. You can replace your current routine with these, or you can add them to your selected routine. So let's replace your current routine with all. Click on that one. When we go back now to our dashboard and we go back through that little thing, that's the one thing that is slightly annoying, is we have our blues licks practice routine here, which is preset via the website. The one thing I didn't mention yet is stats. So on the stats page, you'll find how much practice you've done every day. So actually, I cleared this user account just to make this little video, so you can see there's no practice there whatsoever, just the 1 minute that we've done. But you can change the time of that. You can also have a look at the details and figure out exactly what it was that you've been practicing. And you can also view recorded stats. So we only had one thing in there, which was the A to E. We had 36 changes, but you can imagine you see a nice little graph here of all different colors to represent each different item that you've got statistics recorded for. So I've just dived into my other account. I thought I'd show you some of my left-handed practice and what it might look like. So this is mostly 1 minute changes. You can see here, here's the statistics where I was recording the number of chord changes I was doing with my chords back in, when is that, September and October. And you can see that there's like a practice time as well. So that's kind of what you get after a while here. If I show the details as well, you can see which things it was that I was working on. I hope that explains everything to you. If you do find yourself using it all of the time, do remember to hit that donate button. This was going to be a paid thing on the website, but I've convinced myself it's better to keep it free for everyone. But if you like it, your support will be greatly appreciated. You take care of yourselves. See you for plenty of lessons very soon. Bye-bye.